Welcome to our new episode of the Hacking Society podcast. We're here in Sofia at the Legal Edge conference, where we have seen a number of interesting speakers and talks about the deep transformation the legal profession is going through thanks to digitalization and legal tech. I'm standing here with Sascha, who is a prime example of where this future might lead to. Sascha, you have a degree in both computer science and law.
That's right.
That's so fascinating. How did that come about? Tell us.
Well, I started out as a lawyer, trained, but I've always done some computer programming, so I was interested in that. And when I was about to do my doctorate thesis, I discovered a unique opportunity at KIT to do a doctorate degree in computer engineering as a lawyer if you have a theme on the edge between law and technology.
That's fascinating. And after you had your degrees and you went out looking for a job, you told me you did something actually quite amazing. You went into a company and you went into the legal department. And tell us what you did there.
Well, basically, I tried to do the transformation of the legal department because back then, despite us being lawyers, well-trained, well-educated, and working with a lot of enthusiasm, the business still didn't feel that we were delivering sufficient value to the business. And so there was the need for change. And of course, as lawyers especially, we're very reluctant to change. And so I tried to get the team to adopt new technologies, to adopt a new way of thinking, which actually only led us to the way where we could adopt technology by introducing agile methods from software development in a legal department.
That's fascinating. So you made you made lawyers work like software developers.
To a certain extent, yes. We adapted it to suit our needs, but that's basically what we did.
What does that imply in the kind of the daily, like you know how lawyers of the old school work? What changes in this model that you introduced?
Well, actually, from the way how we were brought up as kids, this doesn't feel like a change. This is very natural, the way how we're working right now. For me, it felt rather unnatural the way how we were working in between. So when we went through law school, then into a big law firm, you suddenly learn that it's no longer really important to solve the client's problems as fast and efficient as possible, as best as possible, but rather that you're just judged by how many billable hours you produce. So there's a huge incentive in the billing system, for example, that you're not as efficient as possible. You're just sufficiently efficient for the clients to pay your bills, but that's very counterintuitive. And then you try to avoid any risks that are out there. So you're really focusing on every possible risk, but you don't know enough about your client and the actual needs of the client to see whether this is just a hypothetical risk or one with a great impact on the business. And so you're not delivering what the client needs, you're just delivering what you think the client would be willing to pay for. And that's something very different.
Interesting. And was it successful, what you tried in this company? Did it work out? Did the lawyers accept it? Did something fundamentally change there?
Yes, absolutely. That's really the funny thing. I didn't change anything when I started. I just made transparent how we were working at that time. Because I thought there was a lot of things we needed to change, but I want everybody to see it. And that's what I basically did. So with this transparency, who is doing what things are progressing, what doesn't work, where we need to twist and amend things, I created the opportunity for everybody in the team to see the same problems as well and to address them. But then it was not me pushing the team towards the direction I wanted them to move to. They rather discovered, there's something we could improve. And that's what the team then did. And so after about 2 years of transformation, it didn't feel like too much of a transformation because it was one step at a time, but it was a step every day in that direction. And now we're walking in a totally different direction, but it's everybody pulling in that direction. And that's what enabled me actually to leave the company, because now the legal department is in great shape, and I can pursue other opportunities.
That's amazing. You're really carrying it to the last consequence and saying, well, my job is done. I don't need to build a company any longer.
Well, yeah, I mean, I like to help people to adapt to the change, because there's a lot of change with the legal technology. There's artificial intelligence, deep learning, a lot of changes coming. And also the generation Y and Z are requiring different methods how we work together. People want to work rather 40 hours a week and do something interesting from the first day on the job, rather than spending 80 hours a week working as a lawyer on uninteresting, low-value work. And so there's a lot of need in the market to find new business models, to go back to value-based pricing, for example. So it doesn't matter how long it takes me to deliver that. If I deliver a certain value, then that's something what the pricing should be about. And then I can become as efficient as possible. And so I can send my people home after 40 hours of work or 20 hours, whatever, just because I'm delivering a value to the client. That's what this is all about. Because legal as a function is not going away. There's still a huge need for complex problem solving, creative solutions to challenging problems. That's going to stay. But if we get rid of all the things that you don't need a lawyer for anyhow, then I think that's very good.
Interesting. And specifically legal technology. It's something you mentioned, deep learning, AI, all other kinds of technologies. Can you give us an estimate of what the next 5 years will look like for law firms when it comes to those technologies?
I think it will be very interesting next 5 years, because there is a lot of technology out there. A lot of it is not yet as mature as you would like on a professional scale. So in specific niche problems, they're able to deliver already a good value, but it's not something you can use for a lot of problems without a lot of training. So there will be a huge development over the next couple of years. I mean, AI as a concept is out there for 60 years, but the computing power was not there, so it was just not applicable in practice, and that's changing a lot. Now it becomes applicable, and I think law firms right now need to adopt it. They don't need to use it full scale, but they need to train their people in the software. They get them to use them to learn about the strengths and weaknesses, where humans are better, where machines are better, how they can cooperate. And that's something you should start today to be able to really reap the benefits of that in 5 years' time.
And specifically when it comes to machine learning, for example, it is the case for machine learning that if you want to really have a use for this technology, you need huge data sets to train your machine. Does it mean that machine learning is not something that an individual law firm can actually use for itself? Is it something where we need law firms to actually collaborate and just throw together all their data in order to have something useful? Do you have an opinion on this?
Yes, you need huge data. Usually vendors tell you they need at least 300-400 agreements to start working on that, and you reap the benefits if you have 10 times that many, so 3,000, 10,000, whatever. And a lot of companies already have that many data, and law firms as well. So if you're talking about the mid-sized to large law firms, they have all that data, so they can do that themselves. But there's, I think, a lot of opportunity also for law firms to offer a platform for their clients where they can upload their data, have it analyzed, and prepare for due diligences and everything that they can do with that data. So if you're a small law firm, I think you probably have a problem because you can't buy an off-the-shelf product yet. That might change. And you do not have enough data to develop it yourself, even with an outside provider. But for mid-size and larger law firms, I think they're sitting on troves of contracts. They're not currently data mining to derive value.
Interesting. And do you think what is the biggest force that will make lawyers have to change their business model? Is it the client expectations? Is it the disruption through the technology? Is it Generation Y not wanting to work in a law firm anymore? Or is it just everything together? What would you say?
I think it's probably all of that together to different extents maybe, but the clients are demanding more for less because they are under pressure, so they want to reduce costs, they want to gain more value for their money. But it's not that clients are not willing to pay for a good quality service. If they're getting it and it really helps them, then there's often no discussion about the invoice. But if they think they are not getting the right value from that, that's when you start discussing efficiencies and things like that. So that's one part. Then it's about attracting and retaining top talent. I think that's a big problem. It has been a big problem the last couple of years, and it's getting worse. Because there's a lot of investment right now for a law firm in training a young lawyer who then leaves because they're unhappy with the work environment in a law firm, where they cannot express themselves as much as they want to. They are not able to work on interesting cases as a junior. That's something that needs to change. And I think technology is actually helping that, because if you can get rid of these inefficiencies and the low value, huge workload tasks, that's really helpful. But then you have to adopt a new business model. So there's a lot of change coming from different directions, and right now it's really centering on lawyers who have not that much changed over the last decade.
Thank you so much, Sascha. I learned a lot. Thanks so much, and see you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching this episode of our Hacking Society podcast from Sofia. Please subscribe to our channel, leave a comment, and follow us on Twitter and Facebook and everywhere else. Thank you.